The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin.
And I got Lou from Fairfield, Connecticut, man. How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing good, Darrell. And I got to tell you, you're not just blowing hot air out there. I think the way you look at the market is terrific. You're a nice guy as far as over the TV. All the research you do, all the homework you do, I truly appreciate it. I appreciate your view of the market. It's awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin, right here on TFNN. Glad to be back here with you after being out for the Thanksgiving holiday. Hope all y'all had a great one. And don't forget, you can listen to us on your mobile phone anywhere, tfnn.mobi, or you can watch us live on Tiger TV right there on tfnn.com and inside the eSignal platform, coming to you live there. All right, let's check out where the markets are at right now. We got the S&P is currently positive, about 4.5 points right now. Russell's up 9 points on the day. We'll get on over at NASDAQ. It's up around 23. Copper right now is down a little bit, 0.75%. Gold is up nearly 1%. Silver's down about 0.25%. Oil up 44 cents. It's been a wild swing. There's these massive moves lately, but today a little bit calmer there, 44 cents positive on the day. We got natural gas right now down 2.5, nearly 2.5%. Looking on at the ags, we got corn is currently down a little over 0.5%. We got soybeans down as well, 6 points right there, a little over 0.5%. We got pound dollar moving on up 64 pips. Euro dollar down 78. Euro pound up 82. Looking at the dollar franc, it's up 59 pips on the day. Dollar yen is currently up 56 pips on the day. So some nice movements right there in the currencies. Also looking at Euro yen down 26, Aussie yen up 9, Aussie dollar down 29. We got the bonds are slightly, just barely up in the dollar index. King dollar there doing pretty well, up again. So that gives you your daily lunchtime wrap. And sort of catches you up on where everything's at across the markets, all across the board. Let's look at a few more things. We got a lot of stuff we can always talk about, and one of the things, of course, I would like to go into with you is the news, and make sure we have that covered, make sure it's on your calendar. I did like some speed news thing, but got some other things we can go to as well. Had a great time getting to go out. We were out at the Money Show a couple weeks ago, and out in Vegas. That's, of course, always fun in and of itself. And got to meet up with Tommy out there, and got to go out and meet up with the guys over at Nadex, and great to be back. Then lots of new things coming out on Nadex. Bitcoin binaries have just been released on the Nadex platform, so I'm not sure if you've seen those, but they have released their Bitcoin binaries. So if you've been interested, in Bitcoin and you wanted to trade it, but you wanted to stay, it's not this archiving cryptographic, stuff that a lot of people like to do. But let's just say you want to hop in and, trade it. I mean, they've actually tied in Bitcoin. So let's look at that. How have they done that? What have they done? You can go over here. It's Bitcoin. It's based on the Terra Bitcoin Price Index. The Terra exchange is a CFTC institutional exchange. It's for institutional traders to trade and hedge Bitcoins, because think about it, a lot of these companies now are starting to take Bitcoin transactions. They got to hedge those transactions off. What does hedge mean? It basically means, like, if I charge you so much, and that comes to so much in Bitcoin, I want to make sure I get that much in dollars or euros or yen or whatever. And so they're able to hedge that position off so they can flatten that out. Same thing that companies do all the time when they sell, some like a company's in the U.S. and it's selling stuff to a company, in Japan in yen. And so that's an institutional index. And so it basically brought Bitcoin to Wall Street. It's what the Terra exchange did. But Nadex teamed up with Terra to use their price index, because what they did was they made a Bitcoin index based upon 6 other exchanges and put it into such a way that the CFTC was able to go, okay, this can't be manipulated. It's a solid way to price the actual commodity is basically what they're calling it. Just like a commodity, but Forex future would be a commodity. And then Nadex basically brought it to Main Street by adding in the Bitcoin. So if you want to trade that, you can check them out. You go in, they got dailies and weeklies, no intradays at this moment, but you do have dailies and weeklies you can trade. It's a pretty volatile instrument. But as far as getting charts on it, you're basically going to have to go over and rely upon this basic Nadex Bitcoin chart right here. You can pull that up, and that's pretty much. And they have they have some technical analysis and stuff you can throw on there and play with as well. But if you want to look at that and check that out, that's just one more thing that Nadex has added in. And some people are fascinated by it. They wanted to get into it. They didn't know how to. Well, now, here's a really easy way to get involved with it. Or they were worried about the extreme volatility. Well, here's a way to trade with, lower, defined risk in that process. So that's one thing they've added. We talked about the 20-minute binaries for our left. Another thing coming out, they got 5-minute binaries for you hyper-speed traders out there. 20 minutes is pretty fast for me. They got 5 minutes coming out. That's going to come out on the 15th. We got to see them probably sometime, my guess, will be next week in the demo platform. And so you'll be able to actually, and they're going to come out on, let's see, what is it? I think pound dollar, dollar yen, euro dollar, and Aussie, or let's see, dollar yen, euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar. And they'll start up at 6 o'clock with the 6:05 expiration p.m. and go through to 4 o'clock the next day. So, around the clock. And so a lot more trading opportunities, a lot coming in. One thing that definitely does mean is you're going to want to be able to check out that scanner because there's just more and more and more contracts. It just gets hard to go through and find the best thing, best time every time. So how do you find that best contract? You can check out the scanner that I have that is available there. As far as general news, what's going on? We got Euro Pound is pushing on down. It's hitting the 2014 lows. We got the U.S. yen rallying. So 1119.80. Just moving up. And just some massive moves. I may pull that chart up. Hold on one second. There's some big moves going on. And just the yen getting weaker and weaker as they're just, all in on doing this. It's just been an insane rally. You basically, it's the yen and oil. That's what's been rocking it. But so if you like big moves, that's where they've been happening at. And let's see, I can't believe just the drop and the bounce we've got just on oil even. Just where it's moving all around too. So let's see here. What do we got? I wanted to pull up. Okay, the U.S. yen. And just I want to throw on let me get this up here and I'll show it to you. We'll put up the deviation levels. And can add this in over here. Okay, sorry, one more second. It takes a little second for that. Got to get back in the swing of things, get my charts flowing and going again here. But let me see, remove that and add one more piece onto my chart. Ought to pop up for you there here in just a second. And you should be able to see it. There we go. Okay, there we go. And this shows up over here. Okay, so basically just moving up right now. The U.S. yen, even though not on massive highs, for the day, it look like not a massive, deviation move. It still got plenty of room to move up at 0.5 deviations right now and just sort of floating around there. Let me get rid of that. And let's see, what else we got going on? We got natural gas trading way down. So in a 5-week low, moving down over here. And we'll check that out. We got pound yen soaring on up to 6-year highs. So pound yen's flying. We'll pull up natural gas here. So natural gas is moving down, and one deviation at a time. Just about right here. See, this is down a deviation, down another deviation move right there. And even today. So just consistently doing that for us. And then, like I said, pound yen. Just some, these are the movers and shakers right now. And natural gas is moving down along with everything else. But we got a pound yen there. Look at that, breaking up right above one deviation right now on the day. Going in and looking at oil. And on oil right here, we got lots of moves going on, but moved a full deviation down yesterday, so we came back off that. Bounced off of it pretty hard, actually. Came back down to the settlement line and bounced right off of it back up to 0.7. Pulled it right back down to, guess where, settlement. So oil loves that settlement price. The Saudis, they talked about, stabilizing oil around $60, but they have not, they didn't make a commitment, obviously, last week on OPEC to cap it off. Some people are seeing that as taking on the U.S. Some people are saying that as, well, they're actually going after ISIS, who can't. We talked about Andy Hecht about this when we were out in Vegas, and he's like, obviously ISIS can't. They're selling that oil in the black market, so having that oil be low hurts them. Russia, obviously, it's below cost of production for them. Hurts them. We can get down to about $50 a barrel. 70 is ideal, but about $50 a barrel, and most producers can still do it. It'll start cutting out the small guys. But anyway, some just massive moves going on in oil. But, it's hitting these lows again and again. Flew back on up here. Just dropping. And I want to say it was Pesavetto that I heard call it. And he's like, hey, I see it going to 50. And he is not too far away from it getting on down there. So, but just some nice moves popped up. Just day after day. Great volatility in the oil market. But they're talking about keeping it lower, not letting it come way back up, looking at that $60 range, which is easily, you can see it going to 50 and bouncing back up in the $60 range right there. Some caution for you, one thing to be aware of is, trading has its challenges, especially during the holiday time, because so many people are taking off. You got institutional traders taking off. You got floor traders taking off. Volume lightens up. Sort of the mood of the market changes a little bit. And so just make sure you're, trading with caution. Don't overtrade during this holiday time over the next several weeks. It's something I like to, remind people of. It's easy to forget about that. And just, you want to trade and trade the entire time. But think about what moves the markets. Orders move the markets. When the same people that place those orders day after day after day are not there, that does change the temperament. Like, that makes, Thanksgiving week tough. It makes Christmas week and even the week after Christmas can be pretty tough. Of course, I like trading with defined risk products. That can help out quite a bit, but this is something you need to, keep on your mind there. Looking at the oil inventory report, so that came out today. If we go over to that, and oil inventory was expected to come in at a 1.1 million increase over the previous week, and that came in at negative 3.7, so lower inventory. And I guess we'll come back to that right after this. Stay right there.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, the Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Check out the new look of Tiger TV. Now you can see a host's charts and computer screens crystal clear in high definition. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV. Now, crystal clear in high definition, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't seen the new look of Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com. Darrell will take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And we're going through, we're talking about the oil inventory report that came out today. And just to bring that back up for you, again, we had oil inventory come in at 1.1 million. Negative 3.7 million barrels on expectation of 1.1. If we get the latest release, you can see that there in the third paragraph. Inventory decreased by 3.7 million barrels from the previous week. It says that that is in the upper half of the average range for this time of year. So even though that is a decrease, okay, it's still like not a low amount for what is to be expected at this time of year. And so as we can see right here at 10:30, let me add on a couple things real quick. Throw in here and add on the toolbar shortcut. There we go. And so anyway, so as we can see on these, looking at them, 10:30 release comes out, it's lower than expected, drops down, but it's in the upper half of the range of the year, but still not that great, and just pulls back. I mean, it's just, that's how oil is. Throw ranges on, though, you can start looking at different ways to trade that. So we go over and put some expected ranges up there. Go, what could we expect as far as movement on oil for the oil inventory report. And we got a little bit, we were actually less movement than expected on the report itself. We actually got a little bit more after the report. So if you did range-bound trade the report right here on oil, if you went in and bought a lower binary, sold an upper binary, or bought a lower spread, sold an upper spread, it stayed well within that range. and closed right there near the center for a near max profit on the trade. It's one of the trades I talk about on a consistent basis, knowing what that expectation is. But then we have that sort of volatile hour. Then things usually flatten out, and they go pretty flat into the end of the day on oil inventory. So as we can see, just the ranges get a little bit, they got really small. It gets a little bit crazy in that last half hour there. So be aware of that 2 to 2:30, sort of the crazy time to trade oil. Just with the close coming up and the settlement coming up and everything else. You notice how it sort of pops, like, see how the range right here, the distance, and how it gets bigger. So in that last half hour, so that's where you want to use your caution going into that, because it can swing pretty wildly. Looking on over at natural gas, pull that on up, and it's going to have some obviously it has plenty of volatility, but it'll have its report coming out tomorrow. And if we pull up, go down here, let me resize this. There we go. Pull that on up here. Go down to Thursday, 10 to 11. It's like 0.075 is the expected move, okay, on natural gas with the natural gas inventory report tomorrow. So you can range-bound trade that with that expectation of a point move 0.75 high to low. That'd be from open to high, open to low, or it moves up 40 and down 75. But that's the expected move for it to stay within that range, right there. So that's some of the ways to trade that. You could also strangle it if you find a really cheap strangle that's close enough. Binary above, binary below, strike above, strike below. You buy the one above, sell the one below. That's a strangle. So if you think it's going to bust up, then, if you find it cheap, or even a straddle. So you can go directional or non-directional. Or basically you can go range-bound or non-directional. That's pretty much the easiest way to trade those whenever you have that information. So now that you got it, you can check it out and look at some ways to play it. Let's see. Yesterday we had some pretty interesting, we had some reports come out. Let me see if I can get these up for you. We pull up corn, and to get that going, and let me back up. Let's see here, and that's the wrong corn contract. Hold on a second. I thought I rolled that over. Let me update that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just didn't remove the old one. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, that should help. And the correct soy corn contract. Give me one more minute. Gotta go way down on my list. Okay, now corn. All right, we'll talk about that when we get back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Each and every time that the dollar ticks higher, S&P wants higher price. Each and every time that the dollar's ticking lower, guess what? S&P wants lower price. Dollar, the metals, and the S&P are going tick or tick.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, we're going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And like I said, just going through and doing some news reviews and seeing where everything is sitting at right now. And let's see what we got. So going on and looking at, so we had some ag reports. Trying to find some of those. I don't know if we're going to be able to see as much of an impact on those for this week. They're pretty small, the announcements there. Yeah, we'll save that for a different show. Because I'm just trying to see if there's any good impact I can show you. Let me pull up one more thing here on my other screen. And just like to see if I can, always add in new ways to look at things for you. New opportunities that are out there that you may not have quite seen before. And, yeah, so nothing there. No major, just a, regular afternoon ag reports, nothing that we really want to put too much effort into at the moment. But let's check out what news we do have coming up and go through that for you. Okay, let's see. So being Wednesday, December 3rd, this evening, we got Aussie dollar retail sales coming on up. And we'll be looking at that as a iron condor trade. Usually a pretty neutral trade between 6 and 8 p.m. Getting in at 6. for an 8 o'clock expiration, looking for around $25. That's buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread. We got the Euro retail sales coming out at 5 a.m. This one gives us more time, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Again, buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread, looking for $25 on that trade. Rolling on into Thursday, we got the pound official bank rate, which usually is a pretty nice trade for us to go in and... So I'm going to add one more thing on there. But it's usually a pretty nice iron condor trade. We go in 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for a minimum profit of $30, okay? Usually just not a lot of surprise on that. And then let me see here. Then we're going to have the ECB interest rate statement. And then the press conference. And so what I do is going into, before the press conference, I do a iron condor. And then after that, I do a straddle. So we'll be looking at this is the Euro minimum bid rate will be coming out at 7:45. So we're needing it at 7 a.m. for a 9 a.m. expiration. Looking for a minimum profit of $30, okay? Minimum profit of $30 on that trade. And then let me find the last one here. Okay. I'll need to update that. Let's see, I need to type this because I will forget. Okay. Like if I don't do it now, I will not get it done, and I will make the same error. Because I just have it as a be aware event, and it's not just a be aware event. So we want to go back. We want to do that straddle. So after we've done the iron condor on the pound, we're doing the iron condor on the euro, and actually even that minimum bid rate. Let's see, the press conference is at 9. So actually, we're going to back that up. Make this, let me change this to 6 to 8 a.m. We want to be out of this thing before the press conference starts, okay? So out at 8 before press conference starts. So very important. All right, so 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. All right, so change that. 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Iron Condor, $30. Okay? And so that's what we're looking for there. And then we'll go in, and that's on the euro dollar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do an 8 a.m. entry for a 3 p.m. Could do less. A lot of times the volatility happens in the first couple hours. If you can get 3 o'clock, a lot of times you can get 3 o'clock from it at just a few dollars more. So let's look at how much more it costs you. But I'm looking at a straddle. That's the spreads. Now this time I'm reversing it. I'm buying the upper spread, selling the lower spread. You're usually going for about a 1-to-1 on that trade, okay? Because if it falls back, you're going to give it all your profit back. So really, that's why I like the Iron Condor so much, because so often it does fall back. But in this case, it usually can really break out pretty big on that Euro press conference. So I like doing that as the straddle. All right, so that gets us caught up there on the early morning trades there, and then let's see, what do we got? We have one other. Of course, got unemployment claims to be aware of. Okay, it's coming out. ECB press conference is probably going to overshadow that. There's an FOMC member speaking at about the same time. Again, we're going to be paying attention to the Euro press conference. CAD IVPMI is coming out, so that'd be over on dollar CAD. That's trade you could look at. 9 to 11 Iron Condor, $35 on the dollar CAD. So buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread. Using the dollar CAD, entering at 9 a.m. for 11 a.m. expiration. Then, of course, be aware of the weekly natural gas inventory report as well. And that's where you can do like the ranges like I talked about earlier in the show. You could possibly do a straddle or strangle if it's cheap enough. We talked about the range 0.075 there that we expect during that hour. You could also look at, potential spike striker news trades to look at. I'm going on in, and what do we got on Friday? Looks like, let me make sure, but I think we got our NFP coming on up. So the big NFP, and yep, and we have that on the dollar and the CAD. So that gives us the really big ones. Let's see here. Okay, yep. So on the NFP, let me bring that back. And how we usually trade that. We're going to look at doing either iron condors, or we're going to be looking at, potentially straddles. And to go over these numbers with you, we go over these each month with you. You may be looking at, there's a variety of trades you can look at doing on these trades. You get as early as 7 o'clock. You can go as late as 3 o'clock. Expirations on them. And, the report itself is going to be released. The NFP, the non-farm payroll, the employment change, the unemployment rate, all that stuff. It's going to come out at 8:30. It's going to come out of the dollar and the CAD both. That usually gives the CAD a little bit more oomph. So most of the movement happens in the first 15 minutes. Go for as much time as you can get, but, you don't have to have, it's a lot of times, literally 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock can be enough too, because it just takes off. You can also check out, 10 a.m., so you can look at 10 a.m., entering at 8, or you could look at, as early as 7, looking at 3. Those are really your two main choices. The ranges over the last couple of years here, Aussie dollar, 60 pips of movement. Euro dollar is 100 pips of usual movement. Pound dollar is 100 pips. We got the dollar CAD is right around 75. And sometimes it can be a little bit more. Sometimes when you get that dollar, when you get the CAD employment change, unemployment rate coming out at the same time. Dollar franc, 92. And the dollar yen, 80. Okay? Of the straddles, you can go in. Yeah, you can also straddle these. Now, they usually make this range, but they usually pull back. So this range that I gave you are usually about how far they expand before contracting, okay? So some people will choose maybe to do the iron condor. Some people maybe choose to do the strangle. The hard part about doing the strangles and the straddles is a lot of times they're really expensive because there's so much expected movement built into them. And if you're like, if for 80 pips, I can get 80 pips on a 100 pip expected move, well, even if it does move 100 pips, the thing pulls back, maybe it goes down 50 and up 50, up 100, well, that's only 50 pips up. Then 100 pips, I make 50 pips on it. So if it's anywhere within inside that 100 pips from, entry to 100 up or entry to 100 down, and I get 100 pips, or if I get 80 pips on it, that's a great iron condor. So I like to, this is one of those, you got to look at it and see what the premium is. If it's really high, you go for the neutral trade. If it's low, you go for the breakout trade. So you can straddle them. You can look at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You can throw expected moves on there. If you're doing the straddles, of course, go for a 1-to-1. Don't worry about your fees. Just go for a 1-to-1, okay? And let's see. I'd also be more tempted to not even worry about I'd set my profit based on maybe a stop trigger versus simply on a limit order. That way, if it, moves up, but it doesn't quite, with the premium and all that, doesn't quite hit there, that's an easier way to get out based on price. The advanced straddles, I talk about these are the big movers, especially when the CAD report comes out the same time as the U.S. reports on employment and unemployment there. And we're going to go over to the advanced straddles is actually Euro CAD and Pound CAD. If you haven't started demoing these, check them out. Work on demoing this. This is very advanced. If you've never done a straddle, it's going to be way too advanced for you. If you've got straddles down, this is a good next step for you to hop in on. And you go in there and you're going to basically buy the euro dollar and buy the dollar CAD. That's going to make you long euro CAD spread. You're going to buy the upper euro dollar and the upper dollar CAD spread. Then you're going to sell the lower euro dollar spread and sell the lower dollar CAD spread. In essence, you're doing a straddle on euro dollar and you're doing a straddle on dollar CAD. But really, that comes out to is a straddle on euro CAD, which has the the largest move that you can do. So use those at 150 pips. Do the same thing on pound, buy pound dollar, buying dollar CAD, sell pound dollar, sell dollar CAD. Great demo trade. Check it out. You like it, you see it working, you want to take another step, always can hop in and, go to live, win it if you're ready. But that's something I definitely, just start thinking out of the box. If you haven't, pushed that one yet, it's a good one to, go in and play with. But you can make it really easy. You can hop in at 7 or something. Do that one before maybe the main ones that you're focusing on. Again, 90% of the biggest moves happen in the first 15 minutes. So you could literally use a 9 a.m., 7 to 9. You could use 8 to 10, or you could use between 7 and 3. So you can get 7 or 8, that type of thing. Entry 4 or 3. So there's, anytime between 7 and 8:15 you can get in for a 9:10 or a 3 o'clock expiration. If you're, going to get it earlier than 8, you'd have to use the 3 o'clock. And then I guess you could use the 9 too. So often the market's going to remain flat on NFP day between 11 and 3. So especially on a Friday. So that can also be another, iron butterfly time you can check into sort of after all that news flushes out. The other things that we have on the list there for the day are going to be U.S. factory orders. And then there'll be some, regular other reports that come out. And let me get this. There we go. Okay. And that one's that wraps up basically this week on news for you. What do we got coming into next week? Let's see here. We're going to have Sunday. We'll have the Frank CPI coming out with their retail sales. On that trade, that's at 11 p.m. entry to a 7 a.m. expiration. We got the CAD housing starts, pound manufacturing production, Aussie home loans, trade balance, Aussie employment change and unemployment rate. We got various reports coming in on the U.S. dollar for a trading opportunity. We are going to have our ag reports coming out next Wednesday, it looks like. So we'll be able to take advantage of those for a big ag trade. Industrial production report, U.S. PPI, CPI. Not a massive news week really overall. Basically the biggest thing that's going to happen next week really is going to be that right there, the ag reports. So everything else, they're just a lot of flat iron condor trades. So it's going to get a little quieter, and just be ready for that. But that is next week, not loaded with news, which is also sort of nice. You don't have these surprises coming in. There's one nice thing about the news is you get the volatility, but the flip side of that is you get the crazy swings off of, random news events coming out. So that gives you, just a quick summary for next week, what to look for. It's not going to be like this where we got NFP and we got all the interest rate announcements coming out. And, there's a whole lot. Earlier this week, I went over with you before I went out. I went like 3 weeks ahead. And we talked about pound construction PMI and pound services PMI and Aussie cash rate. They had their interest rate. Bank of Canada had its interest rate this morning. Pound has this interest rate tomorrow morning. Euro has this interest rate. Canada and the U.S. have their employment. This is loaded, packed news week. Okay, so that gets us caught up on all that news. Let's see here. What else do we got? One thing we talked about a little bit is the 20-minute binaries. I sort of mentioned that briefly to you. And Nadex has now added those in. If you haven't checked them out, go in and check them out. But let's see here. Let me bring up this, and what you can do is it's pretty nice. What it'll do is it'll automatically load the scanner for you. It'll automatically load up the Nadex binaries. I'll talk about when we get back after this break. Stay right there.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All righty, folks, welcome back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And so, anyways, we were talking about is going through and looking at, these new 20-minute binaries that Nadex has launched. I mean, they're not really that new anymore. They've had them out now for, about a month now. And the scanner, which helps you pull them up a whole lot easier than trying to hop between 4 different markets and hitting refresh every single time. And you go into the binary scanner, say you just select the indices. Say you want to look at 0 to 30 minutes, and it's going to show you literally there's all the 20-minute binaries, and you could drop if you go like say I want to say 5.95, that'll drop those like 4.96s, so you can get the closer markets. But there's all of them; they're automatically popping up for you. Like I said, every 20 minutes. So what will happen is like the 220s here will come up in 4 minutes and 41 seconds or whatever. We'll see those 220s pop up. They'll be ready. And the old ones will drop off. And so you're always seeing the easiest, freshest stuff there to do it. And there's a lot of ways to do it, but one of the things is I'll go in and I've showed, several webinars. I did one early this week on Nadex where I went in and talked about, going in and looking at expected ranges and just going, okay, well, if I'm in my expected range and just looked at, 20 minutes, the time frame I'm trading, and said okay on that. And then back out from there. There we go. And then what I did is really went in and said, I'm going to go ahead and add that expected range in one more time, but I'm going to look at the close to close. Where do I expect it to close? Because when you're range-bound trading, it's not about where I expect it to go, it's where I expect it to end up. And, I think I put it on there twice. Let me change one of these settings over here to close. So high to low means like, the high to the low of the market. The close to close means from the close of 4 to the close of 420, that type of thing. Or the close of 2 to 220 or 140 to 2. And so this lets me see the expected, movement. We're obviously having a really, really low volatility today there. But you go in and look at it. I mean, we did move up still to the one deviation, just really didn't slow. And most of the time we stayed inside these close to closes on most periods. So if you could get, close to a 1-to-1 or better risk reward ratio on those close to closes, even if, you'll say you get hit here, but you win here, here. On this one, profitable. Multiple profits. But if you're getting greater than a 1-to-1 and you're profitable more than 50% of the time, then you can have some nice setups. And that's if the premium's there, if you can get them on. They're not always going to be there, but you do got 4 markets, and you got 3 attempts an hour. So, you got, 3 attempts an hour on 4 markets. That's 12, opportunities really per hour in order to be able to find, a butterfly trade that you can put on. And so you can watch these and put them through. If we go down and look at the days, right now in the S&P, you can see this one. Okay, so that one popped up, and that one closed inside the close to close, inside the close to close, inside it. Okay, that was outside it, inside it, inside it, inside it, inside it, outside it, inside it, inside it. So all the inside ones were profitable ones. All the outside ones were trades that would have lost. But again, if you can get 1-to-1 or greater on them and be profitable more 50% of the time, then you're net positive for the day. Very simple trades. You just put them on top of the 20 minutes. But you need to know what an acceptable range is. And so that's where I like that close to close, because it says, if it does pull out, usually it'll come back. And even this one right here that broke out, it actually did pull on back up on that close right there. So really a simple way to trade the 20-minute binaries. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow right here on the Diagnostic Trading Hour.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.